forgot how to vlog. I never thought I'd say that because making videos and turning on the camera and talking to it really just has always come so naturally to me. In the past, I'd always grab the camera, start talking, and just show you what we were up to, no matter what it was. But I think as we started to get more eyes on our content, more subscribers, something kind of changed with that. I started to really overthink every little detail, every shot, every word I said. And this is not me saying that I'm going to stop making videos, because that's definitely not the case. I definitely want to still keep sharing our lives here. This is me checking myself and saying I've gotten in my head about how to share those videos. Once our channel started to grow, I started to ask myself a lot of questions like, is this good enough? Will people like this? What if I say the wrong thing? And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of that kind of came from watching a lot of other creators on YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube. It's always in the background, like all day long. I try to support my favorite creators and watch their ads and play their videos as much as possible throughout the day. And I've spent so much time in the last year researching for myself how to make better videos, how to tell a good story, how to keep people engaged throughout the entire video, how to keep you, our subscribers, entertained the entire time you're watching. All of that while also trying to keep up with my self-imposed posting schedule. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I notice that like other channels who were kind of on the same level as us have really skyrocketed, and they are doing this full time now. That's really, really hard to see sometimes. And I can recognize that their videos are polished and they're educational and they're exactly what the algorithm likes to see, and obviously that means that's what subscribers and viewers want to see. So this is me trying to be self-aware. I'm trying to recognize the fact that it's really hard not to compare myself to other channels, our channel to other channels. It's hard not to question, am I doing this right? Do I belong here? Because those questions, when they start to circle around in your head, that's when the imposter syndrome really starts to kick in. So let's talk about why we kind of stepped away from doing so many videos in the last few months. It would be really easy to say, life got busy. Just like wrap it up in a pretty bow and say, life got busy. But I have filmed these videos through some of the most stressful, most busy experiences and periods of time in my life. So what made the last few months different than the last 2 or 3 years? We had the planting season that rolled into drought season, which rolled into my breathing issues getting significantly worse, which pretty much made doing any physical thing really difficult for me and nearly impossible, including talking to the camera for extended periods of time. And it's something that I'm still kind of struggling through and trying to figure out what the best solutions are. Because I'm not gonna lie, hearing myself breathing on camera is not it, and I'm assuming you guys don't like to hear that either. And then September, we dedicated our whole month to renovation projects, which was just nonstop, go, 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 physically demanding. And then the hurricane hit at the end of September. We were here entertaining guests at that same time and trying to deal with the aftermath in our very immediate area, also physically. But then I think something that we're still dealing with, and we were dealing with for the last few months, is the mental toll that that kind of brought on with it. And I just lost all motivation to do so many things. And then there were other things going on in the world at that time, the holidays, just all of it energetically demanding. So whether good or bad, it can be exhausting. So by the middle of December, I would say I was so burnt out, and not just with like the busyness of life, but by the pressure that I put on myself. I kept up with that second guessing of everything I was filming and just asking myself, like, is this the right angle? Is this enough footage? And then I was just resisting that pull to simply rest, like take time off, just rest and focus on doing absolutely nothing but the bare minimum and not worrying about those little things with filming, like Does this look good enough? Am I saying the right things? Is this interesting enough? All of the things I said earlier on. And not just the last few months, but really since our channel hit maybe like 10,000 subscribers, I started to anticipate the criticism that would be brought on in the comments, whether it's constructive criticism, whether it's just criticism. And that really started to change how I was speaking to the camera and how I thought about videos. It's really hard to film something where I'm just explaining what I'm doing when I'm constantly thinking, okay, well, I need to make sure I mention this because someone's going to point out that I didn't say this and that I'm wrong about something, and that's really, really hard to deal with, like to grapple with mentally when you're just trying to do the project and document it. It's funny how you can get so in your head about something that you love so much, and it's crazy to me how easy it is to forget that this doesn't have to be perfect. Me showing up and popping the camera on doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to say all of the right things all of the time, and I don't have to say everything every time. I can miss things, and it's okay as long as what I'm sharing with you is real. It just has to be real. That's what I'm shooting for here. And that's really like what I'm aiming to get back to. And if that means I occasionally need to sit down in the middle of my garden on a 15-degree day and get real and honest and just kind of vent and have a little therapy session with my camera and coincidentally you guys who are listening to this, so be it. And if it's not tailored to the algorithm and no one watches this, so be it. That's fine. I will have gotten my words out, and they are my real words. They're how I'm feeling, and that's what matters. Okay, so here's the thing. I didn't forget how to vlog. Let's call it clickbait. But I did forget how to just let this flow. I did get caught up in my head. I do often think, was what I just said too awkward, or is my joke not going to come across, or is someone going to take this the wrong way? And you know what? All of those things are probably true, but the question I should be asking myself is, does it matter? And I don't think it does. I think if I'm being authentic and putting that out there, that's what matters. So yeah, like I said earlier, comparing myself to other creators very much was not helping this whole situation. You know, I'm watching their beautifully edited, crafted videos that are super educational with very clean edits, and they're very dynamic and engaging, and there's so much going on in them. And I recognize, like, this is why they're growing so fast. I understand how this works and why they're doing so well, and I'm happy for them. But that kind of authoritative, educational, polished style is really not what we do at all. I have built this channel on turning on the camera and doing the projects that I'm doing, and the camera just so happens to be capturing them. And then I'm sharing it with you. But nonetheless, seeing those curated, like, really well done videos sometimes made me, and probably still will make me, feel like I'm not doing this the right way, or I'm not doing enough. But I'm trying to remind myself that our channel was never meant to be authoritative or educational or perfect. It's about being real. It's about showing our journey. It's about showing you the good stuff, the bad stuff, the absolute chaos that happens here on a regular basis. And I hope that's what resonates most with you. The honest truth is that there's no right way to do this. There's no correct way to film and make videos, and that's why it's a creative process. Just because our channel is different and doesn't have the most subscribers and the most polished content doesn't make it any less valuable. It's okay to stumble, it's okay to learn, it's okay to grow, and that's what we're doing, and that's what we're going to keep sharing. And I really hope this isn't being misconstrued as us feeling like we're not supported by you. This is all very much coming from my own brain, my own anxiety, and my own pressure that I put on myself. So one thing that I'm going to try and promise myself and you guys, like, going forward, is that this channel is going to always stay authentic. You know, especially in the homesteading space, I see a lot of channels that dive into politics and religion and other very divisive topics just because it sparks engagement in their comments, and that usually comes in the form of arguments. And while that's something that works to grow channels for sure. That's really not something I'm interested in. Our homestead to us feels like this peaceful place in just the noise of the world, even though there is noise here too. It just happens to be cute animal noises. And if I can bring like even just a little slice of that peace and respite to our channel and share it with you, like I am accomplishing my goal. That's all I want to do. We're here to share our journey. We're not here to stir up controversy or create more division in this world. There's enough of that. I'm also not here to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. And I just really want this space on the internet to be a space of inspiration. Something else I wanted to talk about is brand collaborations, because this has always been something that's difficult for me. We get a lot of collaboration offers from companies, and we have for a while now actually. We've taken on, I think, 2 in our entirety of being on YouTube. And a lot of them can be tempting because they're products that we could and would use, or it's income. But I just really never want this channel to feel like an ad. At least not like the overarching aspect of it. I want it to be, like I said before, a place of peace and relaxation and just a place that brings you joy. So just know that when we do partner with brands, it's something that like is probably on our big list. We have a running list of brands that we have dreamed of working with, and that we've checked a few of them off, which is really cool. So like I struggle with the not wanting to feel like an ad all of the time, and having those goals of like growing and making more income and growing as creators. That's just something that I have a hard time with, and I've always struggled with that. So that being said, we do have a couple of collaborations in the works for the next few months. So one of my biggest hopes is that you guys can feel our excitement in being able to work with those dream companies of ours. And I hope that you can recognize our gratitude for you for supporting us when we do take those on. The relationships, the community, your trust that we've built with this channel and our subscribers, I really hope that you know that that means everything to me, like seriously. And I think a big part of that, and something that I am constantly reminding myself, is that we didn't start this channel to become influencers. I call myself a content creator because this is a creative outlet for me, and I just so happen to be sharing it with 30,000 people. I never wanted to be an authority on homesteading. I am still learning all this. This is not educational content for the most part. At least it's not aiming to be. But if you do happen to learn something along the way, that's great. I just wanted to like document our lives, our experiences, our journey here, and connect with people who are doing the same or who are interested in doing the same. And you know, I really do think that we've gotten to that point. Like, we have accomplished making friends from this channel. We have regular people who comment all of the time, and I recognize your usernames and I read all of your comments. And it's really, really cool that that has been built in the last 2 or 3 years. So when I think about the future, something that I'm the most excited about with our channel, and one of the things that drives me to keep hitting record, is having these videos to look back on when we're older. I am so sentimental, so nostalgic as a person. I've always been. I'm always down to look through old photo albums. So we're in our 20s right now. We're almost nearing our 30s. And I'd say that we are definitely still at the beginning of this whole homesteading journey. And I think it's going to be really cool to be able to look back and see how far we've come in 10, 20, 30, 50 years. And you know what? If YouTube's not around in 50 years, this girl's still going to be hitting record on this camera, probably a different camera, and documenting things for my grandchildren, because making and preserving these memories is really, really important to me. I like to think of these videos as our time capsule, like our own personal family time capsule that just happens to be shared with a lot of other people. It captured the absolute chaos of living in a camper and demoing our house and all of the other things, the beginning, the chaos that's still usually happening, everything that just makes me stop and be in awe and smile, and everything that doesn't go as planned and all of the mold that happens. Being able to share all of that is definitely a privilege in my mind. And I hope that it brings you guys some encouragement or inspiration or just the littlest bit of joy along the way. At the end of the day, we're just trying to figure out what we're doing, stumbling through it, and building this homestead from scratch, on this abandoned farm / landfill. And if we can do this, you can do this. It's a new year. I'm gonna say here is to a fresh start. I'm gonna try and let go of the pressure of making everything perfect and really just get back to flipping that camera on, hitting record, and sharing our journey with you. Thank you for being here, for always supporting us, and allowing me to process these thoughts during this little therapy session. I'm really excited for everything we've got planned for this year and the following years, because we probably won't finish everything that we are planning this year, and that's okay. But yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing it with you regardless, so thank you for being along for the ride.